So, today we're diving into something we all use every single day, but maybe don't think about nearly enough: India's roads. It's an absolutely staggering achievement of engineering, but there is a hidden problem, a problem that's getting bigger and a lot more expensive with each passing day.
But first, let me start with a question for you. If you had to take a guess, what do you think is a country's single most valuable physical asset? I mean, is it the railways, the power grid, maybe all the government buildings combined? The answer, well, it might actually surprise you.
The answer isn't buildings, and it's not railways. It's this number: 64 lakh kilometers. That is the unbelievable length of India's road network. It makes it one of the most valuable public assets in the entire country. But a number that huge, it needs some context for us to really grasp just how important it is.
I mean, these aren't just strips of pavement, right? This network is basically the circulatory system for the entire Indian economy. Think about it. About 65% of all our goods travel on these roads, a massive 80% of all passenger traffic. And to top it all off, the number of vehicles is jumping by 10% every single year. The pressure on this system is just constantly growing.
And that right there brings us to the core of the problem. This incredibly valuable, absolutely vital asset, it's deteriorating. And the way we've been approaching how to fix it has a hidden and, frankly, a rapidly escalating cost. Just take a look at this comparison. In a recent budget, India spent less than 5% of its total road money on maintenance, okay? Now look at countries like the UK, the US, and Australia. They spent over 40% in that same period. This isn't just a small gap, you guys. This is a fundamental, philosophical difference, and it has enormous financial consequences. And that massive funding gap, it's not just some abstract number on a budget sheet. It leads directly to a very predictable and very financially painful outcome for all of us, for taxpayers. And we're about to see just how painful. Okay, so here it is. This is the crucial point. When a road is in good condition, spending just $1 on preservation keeps it that way. Simple enough. But if you wait until it's just in fair condition, the cost to fix it explodes to $6 to $10. And if you wait until it's in poor condition, you're talking about a full, incredibly expensive reconstruction. It's the classic "a stitch in time saves nine," except in this case, it saves a whole lot more. So this whole situation basically creates two completely different ways of thinking about our roads. It's a choice, really. A choice between being reactive, waiting for things to break, or being proactive and actually planning ahead. The reactive approach, well, that's what we often see, right? We wait for a road to completely fall apart, then we rush in with these expensive, super disruptive emergency repairs. It's a worst first strategy. The proactive approach, though, is more like a regular health checkup for the roads. It uses planned, low-cost maintenance to act before something fails, which minimizes both the cost and the disruption to all of us. It's a smart first way of thinking. Now, this smarter, proactive philosophy isn't just some vague idea. It actually has a name. It's a systematic approach used all over the world, and it's called Pavement Asset Management. And it really does offer a clear path forward. Okay, so the formal definition says it's a systematic approach to determine the most cost-effective use of available funds. Now, the key words to grab onto here are systematic, meaning it's planned, it's not random, and cost-effective, which is all about getting the absolute most bang for your buck. But let's just put that in simpler terms. Pavement Asset Management, or PAM for short, is really a data-driven way to manage the long-term health of our roads. It all comes down to one simple but really powerful idea: spending the right money in the right place at the right time. Now, there is a super important distinction to make here. Asset management is the big picture, the overall strategy. It's the what and the why of making better decisions. The asset management system, on the other hand, that's the tool. Often it's a piece of software that helps with the how by analyzing all the data. So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, adopting a pavement asset management approach is fundamentally about being able to answer a few absolutely crucial questions about our road network. It all starts with something really basic, a kind of inventory. A smart system helps us answer the first question: what is the actual current condition of our roads? I mean, without that baseline data, you're pretty much just guessing. Okay, so once you know the what, you can get more specific. The next question is, what level of service does each individual road actually need?
Because, let's be honest, a major national highway needs a very different maintenance plan than some quiet little rural lane, right? The approach has to be tailored.
And here's where it gets really, really smart. The system can actually identify which sections are the most critical for the entire network's performance. Think about it. Fixing one key artery could prevent a traffic collapse across a whole city. That makes it a much higher priority than fixing 10 minor streets.
And finally, it all comes down to the money. A PAM system can model all these different scenarios to answer the ultimate question. With the limited budget we have, what are the absolute best long-term investment options to get the most out of every single rupee? And the payoff for this huge shift in thinking is, well, it's huge. Instead of guesswork, investment decisions are driven by hard data and clear goals. It means we start focusing on long-term health instead of just short-term fixes. And we can actually track performance over time to see what's working. Ultimately, it makes sure that every single taxpayer rupee is spent to its maximum effect.
You know, in the end, these 64 lakh kilometers of road, they connect to every single one of us. They're our shared asset and they're our shared responsibility. So the final question is pretty simple, isn't it? Isn't it time we started thinking a little bit smarter about how we keep them healthy for generations to come?